We must dance and we must sing. banished. What could she have done to deserve so terrible a punishment? Oh, something awful. She married a mortal.
Is it injudicious to marry a mortal? Injudicious? It strikes at the root of the whole fairy system. By our laws, the fairy who marries a mortal dies. But Iolanthe didn't die.
No, because your queen, who loved her with a surpassing love, commuted her sentence to penal servitude for life.
On condition that she left her husband without a word of explanation and never communicated with him again. And that sentence of penal servitude she is now serving on her head at the bottom of that stream. Yes, but when I banished her, I gave her all the pleasant places of the earth to dwell in. I'm sure I never intended she should live at the bottom of a stream. Why, it makes me perfectly wretched to think of the discomfort she must have undergone.
Oh, and think of the damp. Her chest was always delicate.
And the frogs! I shall never enjoy any peace of mind until I know why Iolanthe chose to live amongst the frogs.
Then why not summon her and ask her?
Because if I set eyes on her, I should forgive her at once.
Then why not forgive her? 25 years, it's a long time.
And think how we loved her.
Loved her? What was yours to mine? Why, she was invaluable to me. Who taught me to curl myself inside a buttercup? Iolanthe. Who taught me to swing upon a cobweb? Iolanthe. Who taught me to dive into a dewdrop, to nestle in a nutshell, to gamble upon gossamer?
Iolanthe! She certainly did surprising things. Oh, give her back to us, great queen, for your sake, if not for ours.
Oh, I should be strong, but I am weak. I should be marble, but I am clay. Her punishment has been harsher than I intended.
I did not mean that she should live amongst the frogs, and, well, it shall be as you wish. It shall be as you wish.
Iolanthe, from
by your royal command, but he doesn't even know of his father's existence.
How old is he?
24.
24? No one to look at you would think you had a son at 24. But that is one of the advantages of being immortal. We never grow old. Is he pretty?
He's extremely pretty, although he's inclined to be stout.
I see no objection to stoutness. In moderation.
And what is he? He's an Arcadian shepherd, and he loves Phyllis, a ward in Chancery.
A mere shepherd? And he half a fairy?
He's a fairy down to the waist, but his legs are mortal.
Dear me.
I see no reason to suppose that I am more curious than other people. But I must confess, I should like to see a person who is a fairy down to the waist, but whose legs are mortal. Nothing easier, for here he comes. Oh!
Good morrow, good mother. Good mother, good morrow. By some means or other, pray banish your sorrow. With joy beyond telling, my bosom is swelling, so join in a measure expressive of pleasure. For I'm to be married today, today. Yes, I'm to be married today.
Yes, he's to be married today, today. Yes, he's to be married today.
Then at last the Lord Chancellor has given his consent to your marriage with his beautiful ward, Phyllis.
Not he indeed. To all my tearful prayers he answers me.
A shepherd lad is no fit helpmate for a ward of Chancery.
I stood in court, and there I sang him songs of Arcady with flageolet accompaniment. In vain. At first he seemed amused, and so did the bar, but quickly wearying of my song and pipe bade me get out. A servile usher then, in crumpled bands and rusty bombazine, led me, still singing, into Chancery Lane. Well, I'll go no more. I'll marry her today and brave the upshot, be it what it may.
Oh, Strephon, rejoice with me, for my queen has pardoned me.
Pardoned you, mother? Oh, this is good news indeed.
And these ladies are my fairy sisters.
Your sisters? And they're all my aunts.
A pleasant piece of news for your bride on her wedding day.
Hush! My bride knows nothing of my fairyhood. I dare not tell her lest it frighten her. She thinks me mortal and prefers me so.
Well, excuse me, but your fairyhood doesn't seem to have done you much good.
Much good? My dear aunt, it is the curse of my existence. What's the use of being half a fairy? My body can creep through a keyhole. What's the good of that when my legs are left kicking behind? I made myself invisible down to the waist. That's no good when my legs remain exposed to view. My brain is a fairy brain, but from the waist downward I'm a gibbering idiot. My upper half is immortal, but my lower half grows older each day and at some point or other must die of old age. What's to become of my upper half once I've buried my lower half, I do not know.
Poor fellow. I see your difficulty, but with a fairy brain, you should engage in an intellectual sphere of action. Let me see. I've a borough or two at my disposal. How would you like to go into Parliament? A fairy member? That would be delightful.
I'm afraid I should do no good there. You see, down to the waist, I'm a Tory of the most determined description, but my legs are a couple of confounded radicals. On a division, they'd be sure to take me into the wrong lobby. They're 2 to 1. It's a strong working majority.
Don't let that distress you. You shall be returned as a liberal conservative. And your legs shall be our peculiar care.
I see your majesty does not do things by parts.
No, we are fairies down to the feet. Fare thee well, attractive stranger. Fare thee well, attractive stranger. Shouldst thou be in doubt or danger, peril or perplexity, and we'll come to thee. My chorus and we'll come to thee. Tripping hither, nobody knows where we must now be taking wing to another fairy ring. Tripping hither, we must now be taking wing to another fairy ring.
Good morrow, good lover, good morrow. I pray thee discover, steal, purchase or borrow, some means of concealing the joy you are feeling, and join in a measure, expressing of pleasure, for we're to be married today, today. Yes, we're to be married today.
For we're to be married today, today. Yes, we're to be married today. Ah, Phyllis. And today we're to be made happy forever.
Well, we're to be married.
That's the same thing.
I suppose it is. Oh, but Strephon, I tremble at the step we're taking. I believe it is penal servitude for life for a ward of court to marry without the Lord Chancellor's consent. I shall be of age in 2 years. Can't you wait 2 years?
2 years. Have you ever looked in the glass?
No, never.
Look at that. And tell me if you think it rational to expect me to wait 2 years.
You're quite right. One must be reasonable.
Besides, all sorts of things could happen in 2 years. You might fall in love with the Lord Chancellor himself in that time.
Yes, the Lord Chancellor is a clean old gentleman.
As it is, half the House of Lords are sighing at your feet.
The House of Lords are extremely attentive.
Attentive? I should think they were. Why did 25 Liberal peers come to shoot over your grass plot last autumn? Couldn't have been the sparrows. Why did 25 Conservative peers come to fish your pond? Don't tell me it was the goldfish. No, delays are dangerous. And if we're to be married, the sooner the better.
tan, sing boom. Bow, bow, ye lower middle classes. Bow, bow, ye tradesmen, bow, ye masses. Blow the trumpets, bang the brasses. Tan, tan, ta, sing, tan, tan, ta, sing boom. We are pleased of highest station.
The Lord is the true embodiment of everything that's excellent. It has no kind of fault or flaw, and I, my lords, embody the law. The constitutional guardian I of pretty young wards in Chancellor, all very agreeable girls, and none are over the age of 21. A pleasant occupation for a rather susceptible Chancellor. A pleasant occupation for a rather susceptible Chancellor. But though the the compliment implied inflicts me with legitimate pride. It nevertheless can't be denied that it has its inconvenient side. For I'm not so old and I'm not so plain, and I'm quite prepared to marry again. But there'd be the use to pay the Lord if I fell in love with one of my wards.
Which crowd that cries my temper for, I'm such a susceptible Chancellor. Which crowd that cries his temper for, he's such a susceptible Chancellor.
And everyone who marry a ward must come to me for my accord, and in my court I sit all day, giving agreeable girls away. With one for him, and one for he, and one for you, and one for ye, and one for thou, and one for thee, but never, no, never, no one for me.
Which is exasperating for a highly susceptible Chancellor. Which is exasperating for a highly susceptible Chancellor.
And now, my lords, to business of the day.
By all means, Phyllis, who is a ward of court, has so powerfully affected your lordships that you have appealed to me in a body to give her to whichever one of you she may think proper to select. And a noble lord has just gone to her cottage to request her immediate attendance. It would be idle to deny that I myself have the misfortune to be singularly attracted by this young person. My regard for her is rapidly undermining my constitution. Why, 3 months ago, I was a stout man. I need say no more. If I could reconcile it with my duty, I should unhesitatingly award her to myself. For I can conscientiously say that I know no man who is so well fitted to render her so exceptionally happy.
Yeah.
But such an award would be open to misconstruction. And therefore, at whatever personal inconvenience, I waive my claim.
My lord, I desire on the part of this house to express its sincere sympathy with your most painful position.
I thank your lordships. The feelings of a Lord Chancellor who is in love with a ward of court are not to be envied. What is his position? Can he give his own consent to his own marriage with his own ward? Can he marry his own ward without his own consent? And if he marry his own ward without his own consent, can he commit himself for contempt of his own court? And if he commit himself for contempt of his own court, can he appear by counsel before himself to move for arrest of his own judgment? Ah, my lords, it is indeed painful to have to sit upon a woodsack which is stuffed with such thorns as these.
My lord, I have great pleasure in announcing that I have succeeded in inducing the young person to present herself here at the bar of this house.
I'm grammar and spelling go to, and blood and behavior thoughts well.
diverged on every conceivable notion. All questions of party are merged in a frenzy of love and devotion. If you ask us distinctly to say what party we claim to belong to, we reply without doubt or delay, the party we're singing this song to. If you ask us distinctly to say, we reply without doubt or delay, the party we claim to belong to is the party we're singing this song to. The party we claim to belong to is the party we're singing this song to.
I'm very much pained to refuse, but I'll stick to my pipes and my tables. I can spell all the words that I use, and my grammar's as good as my neighbours. As for birth, I was born like the rest. My behaviour is rustic and hearty, and I know when to turn for the best when I want a particular party.
Like the rest, she knows where to look for a party. When she wants a particular party, she knows where to look.
Whenever I want a
Serve us now, go dating
my displeasure, and thus defy our definite command.
'Tis I, young Strephon, mind this priceless treasure. Against the world, I claim my darling's hand. A shepherd he, a wandered I, a wandered he, betrothed are we, betrothed are they, and mean to be espoused today. A shepherd I, a wandered he, a shepherd he, a wandered he, betrothed are they, and means to be espoused today.
Neath this blow was the time of dragon, though we momentarily staggered. In each heart, proud we and stately, let's depart, dignified and stately.
Let's depart, dignified and stately, 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 dignified and stately.
Have you to offer for having disobeyed an order of the Court of Chancery?
My lord, I know no courts of chancery. I go by nature's acts of parliament. The bees, the breeze, the seas, the rooks, the brooks, the gales, the vales, the fountains, and the mountains cry, you love this maiden. Take her. We command you. 'Tis written in the heavens, on each bright barbed dart that leaps forth into lurid light from each grim thundercloud. The very rain pours forth her sad and sodden sympathy. When chorus nature bids me take my love, am I to reply, nay, but a certain Chancellor forbids it? You are the Lord High Chancellor of England. But are you Chancellor of birds and trees, King of winds and Prince of thunderclouds?
No. It's a nice point. I don't know that I've ever met it before. But my difficulty is that at present there is no evidence before the court that chorus nature has interested herself in...
No evidence? You have my word for it. I tell you that she bade me take my love.
Ah, but my dear sir, you mustn't tell us what she told you. It's not evidence. Now, an affidavit from a thundercloud, or a few words on oath from a heavy shower, would meet with all the attention they deserve.
But have you the heart to apply the prosaic rules of evidence to a case which bubbles over with poetical emotion?
Distinctly. And it is to that fact that I owe my advancement to my present distinguished position. When I went to the bar as a very young man, said I to myself, said I'll work on a new and original plan, said I to myself, said I'll never assume that a villain is a gentleman worthy of his degree, because he's a turn of strength we are meet, said I to myself, said I. Ere I go into court, I will read my brief through, said I to myself, said I. And I'll never take work I'm unable to do, said I to myself, said I. My learned profession I'll never disgrace by taking a fee with a grin on my face when I haven't been there to attend to the case, said I to myself, said I. I'll never throw dust in a juryman's eyes, said I to myself, said I. Or hoodwink a judge who is not overwise, said I to myself, said I. Or assume that the witnesses summoned in force in exchequer or each bench, common pleas or defaults, have perjured themselves as a matter of course, said I to myself, said I. In other professions in which men engage, said I to myself, said I, the army, the navy, the church, and the stage, said I to myself, said I, professional license if carried too far, your chance of promotion was certainly found, and a fancy for rule might apply to the bar, said I to myself, said I.
To be taken from me just as I was upon the point of making you my own. It is too much, it is too much.
My son, in tears, and on his wedding day.
My wedding day. Oh, mother, weep with me, for the law has interposed between us, and the Lord Chancellor himself has separated us forever.
The Lord Chancellor? Oh, if he did but know.
If he did but know what?
No matter. The Lord Chancellor has no power over you. Remember, you are half a fairy. You can defy him. Down to the waist.
Yes, but from the waist downwards he can commit me to prison for years. To what avail is it my body is free if my legs are working out 7 years penal servitude?
True. But take heart. Our Queen has promised you her special protection. I'll go to her and lay your peculiar case before her.
My beloved mother, how can I repay the debt I owe you?
That on a rainy day, to while the time away on her he'd call.
We think we heard him say that on a rainy day, to while the time away on her he'd call.
When tempest wreck thy bark, and all is drear and dark, if thou shouldst need a nap, I'll give thee one.
What was that?
I heard the minx remark she'd meet him after dark inside St. James's Park and give him one.
Heard the minx remark she'd meet him after dark inside St. James's Park and give him one.
The prospect's not so bad, my heart's so sore and sad, will very soon be glad as summer sun. But when the sky is dark and tempests wreck my bark, if I should need an ark, should give thee one. I'll give him one. I'll give him one.
Oh, shameless one tremble, I do not endeavour thy fault to dissemble. We parted forever. I worshipped him blindly, he worships another.
Attend to me kindly, this lady's my mother.
This lady's his
what? This lady's my mother.
This lady says what?
He says she's his mother.
What dreams is unseemly that shakes the listening heart? The joke is good extremely, and justifies a mirth.
These gentlemen is seen with a maid of 17 taking off his dolce far niente. And one to see the chief, for he asks us to believe she's his mother, yet he's nearly 25.
Recollect yourself, I say, and be careful what you say, as the ancient Romans say, Festina Lente. For I really do not see how so young a girl can be the mother of a man of 25.
My Lord of heaven tents, I have no dearth. She is, has been, my mother from my birth. In babyhood, upon her lap I lay, with infant food she moistened my clay. Had she withheld the suckle she supplied, by hunger well your Strephon might have died.
Has that refreshment been denied? Indeed, our Strephon might have died.
Had that refreshment been denied, indeed our Strephon might have died.
But as she's not his mother, it appears, why weep these hard, unnecessary tears? And by what laws that we so joyously rejoice because our Strephon did not die? Oh, rather let us pipe our eyes, because our Strephon did not die.
That's very true, let's pipe our eye, because our Strephon did not die.
Phyllis, oh Raptor, ere you leave me.
Not a word you do deceive me.
Hear me, Phyllis.
You did deceive me.
Not a word you did deceive her.
For riches and rank I do not long, the pleasures of false and vain. I gave up the love of a lordly throne for the love of a simple swain. But now that simple swains untrue, with sorrowful hearts I turn to you. Hearts are taken, quaking, breaking. The sorrowful hearts are wont to do. The riches and rank that you may find are the only bit you use. So the richest and rankiest of you, my sorrowful heart shall choose. As none are so noble, none so rich, in a couple of lords I find a niche. My heart that's aching, quaking, breaking.
Countess is the title, yes, Countess, Countess, the title, the title. But of what I'm not aware, but of what I'm not aware.
Can I in active see my fortunes fade? No, no.
Oh, oh.
No, no.
Oh, oh.
Mighty protectress, hasten to my aid.
Dripping fever, nobody knows why you weather. Why you want us, we don't know, but you summoned us, and so enter all the little fairies to their usual dripping measure. To oblige you all our careless, tell us, pray, what is your pleasure?
The lady of my lover's coffee talking to another.
Oh, fine, our Strephon is a rogue.
I tell her very plainly that this lady is my mother.
Taradiddle, Tolloller.
She won't believe my statement and declares we must be parted because of a career of double dealing I have started. Then gives a hand to one of these and leave me broken hearted.
Taradiddle, Tolloller.
A cruel was to separate two lovers from each other. Oh, fine, our Strephon's not a rogue. You've done him an injustice, for this lady is his mother.
Taradiddle, Tolloller.
That table craftsman servants tell as well as any other. I didn't see her face if they fought with one another. But she's with 70, I do believe it was his mother. Taradiddle, Tolloller.
I have often had a use for a thoroughbred excuse of a sonnet which is English for a pente. But of all I ever heard, this is much the most absurd, for she's 17 and he is 5 and 20.
For she is 17 and he is only 5 and 20. Oh, fine, our Strephon's not a rogue.
Now listen, say to me, and this paradox shall be carried nobody and offered by the gentry. Her age upon the date of his brother's minus 8. Is she 17 and he is 5 and 20?
She is 17 and he is only 5 and 20.
Say she is his mother, is it utter bit of folly? Oh, fine, our Strephon is a rogue. Perhaps his name is handled and he's very melancholy. Taradiddle, Tolloller. I wouldn't say a word that could be reckoned as a joyous, but to find a mother younger than her son is very curious, and that's the kind of mother that is usually spurious. Taradiddle, Tolloller. Go away, madam, I say, madam, you display, madam, shocking taste.
It is rude, madam, to intrude, madam, with your brood, madam, brazen-faced. You come here, madam, interfere, madam, with a peer, madam, I am one. You're aware, madam, what you dare, madam, so take care, madam, and be gone.
Let us say, madam, I should say, madam, we display, madam, shocking taste. It is rude, madam, to allude, madam, to your rude, madam, brazen face. We don't fear, madam, any fear, madam, my dear, madam, this is one. We don't stare, madam, we're not aware, madam, what they dare, madam, what they've done.
Bearded by these puny mortals, I will launch from fairy portals all the most terrific thunders in my armory of wonders.
Terrific wonders,
Let us say, madam, I should say, madam, to display, madam, shocking taste. It is rude, madam, to allude, madam, to your broad, madam, brazen face. We don't fear, madam, any fear, madam, do not fear, madam, I have fun. We will say, madam, what you dare, madam, to be fair, madam, what you dare, madam, what you don't, we will say, madam, what we dare, what we don't.
and improve McGillvray.
Come late on this May I'm in a nice quandary of hasty tone with dames unknown. I ought to be more chary. It seems that she's a fairy from Anderson's library, and I took her for the proprietor of a ladies' seminary.
We took her for the proprietor of a ladies' seminary.
When next your houses do assemble, you may tremble.
When gentlemen offend us, is tremendous. There's a
They meet who underrate our calling, doom appalling.
Take down our sentence as we speak it, and he shall wreak it.
Oh, spare us!
Henceforth Strephon cast away, crooks and pipes and ribbons so gay, flocks and herds that bleat and low, into Parliament you shall go.
Into Parliament he shall go, backed by our supreme authority, he'll command a large majority. Into Parliament, 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 he shall go. Into Parliament he shall go. Into Parliament, 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 he shall go. Into Parliament he shall go.
In the parliamentary hive, liberal or conservative, Whig or Tory, I don't know, but into Parliament you shall go.
Into Parliament he shall go, backed by our supreme authority, he'll command a large majority. Into Parliament, 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 he shall go. Into Parliament he shall go. Into Parliament, 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 he shall go. Into Parliament he shall go.
Every bill and every measure that may gratify his pleasure, though your fury it rouses, shall be passed by both your houses.
Oh!
You shall sit, if he sees reason, through the grouse and salmon season.
No!
He shall end the cherished rites you enjoy on Friday nights.
No!
He shall prick that annual blister, marriage with deceased wife's sister.
Mercy!
Title shall ennoble then all the common councilmen.
Spare us!
Peers shall teem in Christendom, and a duke's exalted station be attainable by competitive examination. They can't assemble, nor hide their fear, that makes them tremble.
We'll stand for us, we find a doubt and give a pass, we take a bout and cannot say what evils may result in consequence. Our Lord is empty, will pursue our pride to all the people, to oppose our views of both interest, to offer and offense. To touch the
go to chase monotony. He exercises all his brains, that is, assuming that he's got any. Never nurtured in a lap of luxury, yet I admonish you. I am an intellectual chap and think of things that would astonish you. I often think it's comical, fa-la-la, fa-la-la, that nature always does contrive, fa-la-la-la, that every boy and every gal that's born into the world alive is either a little liberal or else a little conservative. Fa-la-la, fa-la-la, is either a little liberal or else a little conservative. Fa-la-la. When in that house MPs divide if they've a brain and cerebellum too, they've got to leave that brain outside and vote just as their leaders tell them to. But when the prospect of a lot of dull MPs in close proximity, all thinking of themselves is what no man can face with equanimity. So let's rejoice with loud fa-la, fa-la-la, fa-la-la, that nature always does contrive, fa-la-la-la, that every boy and every gal that's born into the world alive is either a little liberal or else a little conservative. Fa-la-la, fa-la-la, is either a little liberal or else a little conservative. Fa-la-la.
Strephon's a member of Parliament, running amok of all abuses, his unqualified assent, somehow nobody now refuses. Whigs and Tories in their glories, giving an ear to all his stories, carrying every billing they wish. Here's a pretty kettle of fish, kettle of fish, kettle of fish, kettle of fish, kettle of fish. Here's a pretty kettle of fish. Strephon's a member of Parliament, carries every bill he chooses to, his measures all assent, carrying every billing they wish, carrying every billing they wish. Here's a pretty kettle of fish.
You seem annoyed.
Annoyed? I should say so. Why, this ridiculous prodigy of yours is playing the deuce with everything. Tonight is the second reading of his bill to open the peerage out to competitive examination.
And he'll carry it too.
Carry it, of course he will. He's a parliamentary Pickford. He carries everything.
Yes, if you please, that's our fault.
The deuce it is.
Yes, we influence members and compel them to vote just as he wishes them to.
Yes, you see, it's our system. It, shortened the debates.
But think about what it all means. I don't much mean for myself, but with a house of peers with no grandfathers worth mentioning, then the country must go to the dogs.
Well, yes, I suppose it must.
I don't want to hear a word against grades. I have a great respect for grades. I often wish I had some myself. But the House of Peers, because entirely of people of intellect, was to become the House of Commons.
I hadn't thought of that.
This is what comes of winning. It just so happens that there is one institution in Great Britain not susceptible to any improvement whatsoever. It is the House of Peers. When Britain really ruled the waves in good Queen Bess's time, the House of Peers made no pretense to intellectual eminence or scholarship sublime. Yet Britain won her proudest place in good Queen Bess's glorious days. Yet Britain won her proudest place in good Queen Bess's glorious days. Yes, Britain won her proudest place in good Queen Bess's glorious days. When Wellington's rash Bonaparte, as every child can tell, the House of Peers throughout the war did nothing in particular, but did it very well. Yet Britain set the world ablaze in good King George's glorious days. Yes, Britain set the world ablaze in good King George's glorious days. Yes, Britain set the world ablaze in good King George's glorious days. And while the House of Peers withheld its legislative hand, and noble statesmen do not itch to interfere in matters which they do not understand. As bright will shine Great Britain's reign, as in King George's glorious days. Yes, bright shall shine Great Britain's reign, as in King George's glorious days. As bright will shine Great Britain's rest, as in King George's glorious days.
Charming persons, are they not?
Distinctly. The self-contained dignity, combined with airy condescension. Give me a British representative here.
Then pray stop this protege of yours before it's too late! Think of the mischief you might be doing.
We can't stop them now!
Aren't they lovely?
Oh, why did you go into fires, you great geese?
In vain to us you plead. Don't go.
not hate. Don't go. It's true we sigh, the close of pose, a tearful eye forgiveness shows. Oh no, we're very cross indeed. Yes, very cross. Don't go. It's true we sigh, but don't suppose a tearful eye forgiveness shows. Oh no, we're very cross indeed. Yes, very cross. Don't go. Your disrespectful sneers. Don't go. Go forth indignant tears. Don't go. You break our laws. You are our foe. The grimy cause we hate you so. You know. You very wicked peers. You wicked peers. Don't go. You break our laws. You are our foe. We cry because we hate you so. You know. You very wicked peers. You wicked peers. Don't go.
Our disrespectful sneers, ha ha, go forth indignant tears, ha ha, if that's the case, my dears.
Don't go.
We'll go.
Oh, shame! Shame upon you! Know ye not that it is death to marry a mortal?
Well, yes, but it's not death to wish to marry a mortal.
If it were, you'd have to kill us all.
Oh, this is weakness. Subdue it.
We know it's weakness, but the weakness is so strong.
We are not all as tough as you are.
Tough? Do you suppose me insensible to the effects of manly beauty?
Look at that man. A perfect picture. Who are you, sir?
Private Willis, B Company, 1st Grenadier Guards.
You're a very fine fellow, sir.
I'm generally admired.
I can quite understand it. Now, here is a man whose physical attributes are simply godlike. That man has a most extraordinary effect upon me.
If I yielded to a natural impulse, I should fall down and worship that man. But I mortify the inclination. I wrestle with it, and it lies beneath my feet. That is how I treat my regard for that man.
Oh, foolish faith, think you because his bravery my paws on the cause, I'd disobey our fairy laws, because I fly in realms above, into
I'm engaged to 2 noblemen at once. That ought to be enough to make any girl happy. But I'm miserable. Don't think it's because of Strephon. I hate him. Any girl would be, who goes a man with a man who goes about with a mother considerably younger than himself.
Phyllis, my darling!
Phyllis, my own!
Oh my God, don't have done! Perhaps you're the 2 noblemen I'm engaged to.
I am one of them.
I am the other.
Well then, my darling, my own. Have you decided which one it's to be?
Not altogether. It's a rather delicate matter and rather difficult to toss up. On the whole, we would rather leave it to you.
I don't see why it's got anything to do with me. You're both earls, you're both rich, and you're both lame.
So we are. Well, I am.
So am I.
No.
Oh, I am indeed very plain.
Yes, perhaps you are.
Really, there's nothing to choose.
But perhaps, if one of you were to forgo his title and distribute his estates amongst his Irish tenantry, then I would see a reason for choosing the other.
Tolloller, are you prepared to make this sacrifice?
No.
Not even to oblige a lady?
No, not even to oblige a lady.
Then the only question is, which one of us shall give way to the other? Perhaps, on the whole, she would be happier with me. I don't know, I might be wrong.
No, I don't believe that you are. I really believe she would. But the awkward part of the thing is that if you rob me of the girl of my heart, then we must fight, and one of us must die. It is a family tradition I have sworn to respect. It's a difficult position, for I have a very high regard for you, George.
My dear Thomas.
Oh, my dearest George. We were boys together. At least I was. If I was to survive you, then my existence would be hopelessly embittered.
Then you must not do it. No, I say again and again. If it has its effect upon you, you must not do it. If one of us is to destroy the other, let it be me.
No.
Ah, yes, by our boyish friendship, I implore you.
Well, be it so. But no. I cannot consent to an act which would crush you with unavailing remorse.
It would not do so. I'd be very sad at first. Who would not be? It would wear off. I like you very much indeed, but not as much as you like me.
Oh, darling George, you are a noble fellow, but that telltale tear betrays you. Oh, I cannot consent to give you a week's uneasiness on my account.
Dear Thomas, it would not last a week. Remember, you lead the House of Lords, and upon your death, I take your place. It would not last a day.
I do hope you two aren't going to fight over me. It really isn't worthwhile.
Well, I don't believe it is.
Nor I. The sacred ties of friendship are paramount.
Though perhaps I may incur your blame, the things of you I would not do in friendship's name.
And may I say I feel the same, not even love should rank above true friendship's name.
And free me by the blame, forget your grace and go your ways in friendship's name. In friendship's name.
Long let me abide in friendship.
unrequited robs me of my rest. Love, hopeless love, my ardent soul encumbers. Love, nightmare-like, lies heavy on my chest, and weaves itself into my midnight slumber. When you're lying awake with a dismal headache and reposes tabooed by anxiety, I conceive you may use any language you choose to indulge in without impropriety. For your brain is on fire, the bedrooms conspire of usual slumber to plunder you. First your counterpane goes on, uncovers your toes, and your sheet slips demurely from under you. Then the blanket tickles, it feels like it prickles, so terribly sharp is the pricking. And you're hot and you're cross and you tumble and toss till there's nothing to stew in the ticking. Then the bedrooms will creep to the ground in a heap, and you pick them all up in a tangle. Next your pillow resides and politely declines to remain at its usual angle. Well, you get to repose in the form of the toes of the Bibles and head of it aching, but you're stumbling through such horrible dreams it was very much better be waking. For you dream you are crossing the channel and tossing around in a steamer from Harwich, which is something between a large bathing machine and a very small second-class carriage. And you're giving a treat to any ice-cold meats to a party of friends and relations. They're a ravenous horde, and they all came on board since Reid out into the stations. And bound on that journey you find your attorney who started that morning from Devon. He's a bit undersized, and you don't get surprised when he tells you he's only 11. Well, you're driving like mad in that singular land by the by, the ship's now a four-wheeler. And you're playing round games and he calls you bad names when you tell him the tide's with the dealer. Well, this you can't stand, so you throw up your hand and you find it as cold as an icicle. In your shirt and your socks and like something got cross-crossing, solemnly playing on a bicycle. And he and the crew are on bicycles too, which they've somehow or other invested in. And he's telling the tars or the particulars of a company he's interested in. It's a scheme of devices to get at low prices of goods from cosmetics to cables, which tickled the sailors by treating retailers as though they were all vegetables. You get him in space with the partners will trace will first take off his boots with a boot tree, and his legs will take root, and his fingers will shoot, and they'll blossom and bud like a fruit tree. From the greengrocer tree you get grapes and bringing tea, cauliflower, pie, apple, and cranberries. What's patriot of plant, cherry, brandy, or ground apple, pass and three corners and bamberries. The shares at a penny and ever so many are taken by Russell and Baring. And just as a few are allotted to you, you awake with a shudder despairing. You're a regular wreck with a crick in your neck, and no wonder you snore for your head's on the floor, and you needles and pins for your sausages, flesh is a cream, your left leg is cupping your toes, that's lying, nose is a flap, and your lung is a mission, hunger, thirst, to tense in a general sense that you haven't been sleeping in clover. But the darkness is past, and it's daylight at last. The night has been long, ditto, ditto, my song. And thank goodness they're both of them over.
Much distressed to see your lordship in this condition.
Ah, my lord, it is seldom that a Lord Chancellor has reason to envy the position of another, but I am free to confess that I would rather be 2 earls engaged to Phyllis than any other half-dozen noblemen upon the face of the globe.
Yes, it's an enviable position when you're the only one.
Oh yes, no doubt, most enviable. On the other hand, seeing you thus, we do rather say to ourselves, this is very sad. His lordship is constitutionally as blithe as a bird. He trills upon the bench like a thing of song and gladness. His series of judgments in F sharp minor, given Andante in 6/8 time, are among the most remarkable effects ever recorded in a court of chancery. He is in fact the only known instance of a judge whose decrees have been awarded the honour of a double encore. How can we do that, which would prevent the court of chancery of one of its most attractive features?
I feel the force of your remarks, but I am here in 2 capacities, and they clash, my lord, they clash. I deeply grieve to say that in declining to entertain my last application to myself, I presumed to address myself in terms which render it impossible for me ever to apply to myself again. It was a most painful scene, my lord, most painful.
This is what it is to have two capacities. Let's be thankful that we are persons of no capacity whatever.
Come, come, you're a very just and kindly old gentleman. You must have no hesitation in approaching yourself, so that you do so with the proper deference.
Do you really think so?
I do.
Then I will nerve myself to another effort. And if that fails, I resign myself to my fate.
If you go in, you're sure to win. Yours will be the charming maid. Be your law, the ancient saw. Faint heart never won fair lady. Never, never, never. Faint heart never won fair lady. Every journey has an end. When at the worst the fares will end. Dark the road when day is nigh. Hustle your horse and don't say die.
He who shies at such a price is not worth a man of 80. Be so kind to bear in mind, fate had never won fair lady. Never, 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 fate had never won fair lady. All the sunshine makes your hay. Where a will is, there's a way. There's a lion in his lair. None but the brave deserve a fair.
I'll take heart and make a start, though I fear the prospect shady. Much I'd spend to gain my end. Fate had never won fair lady. Never, never, never. Fate had never won fair lady. Nothing venture, nothing win. Blood is thick, but water's thin. It's love that makes the world go round. Now and then, turn out to win. Blood is in, but water's thin. We are ready in for a run. It's love that makes the world go
I suppose one ought to enjoy oneself in Parliament, particularly when one leads both parties as I do. But I'm miserable. Poor broken-hearted fool that I am. Oh, Phyllis! Phyllis!
Yes?
Phyllis! Although I ought to call you my lady, not yet been informed which title your ladyship is pleased to select.
I haven't quite decided. You see, I have no mother to advise me.
No, I have.
Yes, a young mother.
Not very. Couple of centuries or so.
She wears well.
She does. She's a fairy.
I beg your pardon. A what?
Oh, I've no longer any reason to conceal the fact. She's a fairy.
A fairy. Well, that would account for a good many things. I suppose you're a fairy.
I'm half a fairy.
Which half?
The upper half. Down to the waistcoat.
But there's nothing to show it.
Please don't do that.
But why didn't you tell me this before?
Because I thought you would take a disliking to me. But as it's all off between us, you may as well know the truth. I'm only half a mortal.
But I'd rather have half a mortal I do love than half a dozen I don't.
I should think not. Go to your half dozen.
But it's only 2, and I hate them. Please forgive me.
I don't think I ought to. Besides, all sorts of difficulties will arise. You know, my grandmother looks just as young as my mother, and so do all my aunts.
I quite understand. Whenever I see you kissing a young, beautiful woman, I shall know it's an elderly relative.
I think we'll be very happy together.
We won't wait long.
No, we might change our minds. We'll get married first.
And change our minds afterwards.
That's the usual course. If we're weak enough to tarry ere we marry, you and I, of the feelings I inspire, you may tire by and by. For peers with flowing coffers press their offers, that is why I am sure we should not tarry ere we marry, you and I.
If we're weak enough to tarry ere we marry, you and I, with the morning trip to Reid and jubilated flower. If by chance we should be parted, broken-hearted, I should die. So I think we will not tarry ere we marry, you and I.
We're weak enough to tarry ere we marry, you and I. Of the feelings I inspire, you may tire by and by. Of the feelings I inspire, you may tire by and by. We're weak enough to tarry ere we marry, you and I. Of the feelings I inspire, you may tire by and by. So I think we should not tarry ere we marry, you and I. You and I, you and I.
Does your mother know? I mean, is she aware of her engagement?
She is, and thus she welcomes her daughter-in-law.
Oh, she kisses just like other people. The Lord Chancellor.
Oh, I forgot about him. None can resist your fairy eloquence. You'll go to him and plead for us.
No, impossible.
But, Mummy, our happiness, our very lives depend on obtaining his consent.
Oh, madam, you cannot refuse to do this.
You know not what you ask. The Lord Chancellor is my husband.
Your husband?
My husband and your father.
Then our course is plain. On learning that Strephon is his son, all objections will at once be removed.
Nay, he must never know. He believes me to have died childless, and dearly as I love him, I am bound, under penalty of death, not to undeceive him.
But see, he comes. Quick, my veil.
Victory, victory! Success has crowned my efforts, and I may consider myself engaged to Phyllis. At first I wouldn't hear of it. It was out of the question. But I took heart. I pointed out to myself that I was no stranger to myself. That in point of fact, I've been personally acquainted with myself for some years. This had its effect. I admitted that I had watched my professional advancement with considerable interest. And I handsomely added that I yielded to no one in admiration for my private and professional virtues. This was a great point gained. I then endeavored to work upon my feelings, conceive my joy when distinctly I perceived a tear glistening in my own eye. Eventually, after a severe struggle with myself, I reluctantly, most reluctantly, consented.
My Lord, a suppliant at your feet I kneel. Oh, listen to a mother's fond appeal.
may not be, for so the fates decide. Learn thou that Phyllis is my promised bride.
Thy bride? No, no.
It shall be so. Those who would separate us woe betide.
My doom thy lips have spoken, I plead in vain. A vow already broken, I break again. For him, for her, for thee, I yield my life. Behold, it may not be. I am thy wife.
Iolanthe, thou livest?
I live. Now let me die. Once again thy vows are broken. Thou thyself thy doom hast spoken.
That's our fault, they couldn't help themselves.
It seems they have helped themselves. And pretty freely, too. You have all incurred death. But I can't slaughter the whole company. And yet, the law is clear. Every fairy who marries a mortal must die.
Allow me, as an old equity draftsman, to make a suggestion. The subtleties of the legal mind are equal to the emergency.
It is really quite simple. Why, the insertion of a single word should do it. Let it stand that every fairy shall die who doesn't marry a mortal. And there you are, out of your difficulty at once.
We like your humour. Very well. Private Willis! To save my life, it is necessary that I marry at once. How would you like to be a fairy guardsman?
Well, Ma'am, I don't think much of a British soldier who would not ill-convenience himself to save a female in distress.
You are a brave fellow. Very well, you're a fairy from this moment. And you, my lords, how say you?
Well, now that the household appears to be recruited entirely from persons of intelligence, I can't see what use we are down here, do you, Tolloller? None whatever.
Good. Then away we go to Fairyland.
As soon as we meet, off and away, we're going to journey. Happy are we, as you can see, everyone is
Up in the sky, ever so high, pleasures come in endless series. We will arrange happy exchange, house of cares for house of theories.
Fairies, 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 house of fears for